Have you ever watched a creative ad and wondered how in the world did this become so popular? Do you sometimes catch yourself humming the tune of a recent song over and over again? Or have you ever replied to a question with the catchphrase from an old ad campaign? If you have done one or all of the above, this is the show for you. Welcome to Season 2 of How Did This Become a Thing? The show that takes a closer look at why an idea or a thought that seems small and harmless becomes such a huge hit. Why do we sometimes remember an ad from years ago, but not what we ate for breakfast? Answers to all this and more. Join us on a TIC original podcast, How Did This Become a Thing? International Women's Day rolled around as it does every year. The UN recognized International Women's Day first in 1977 as a time to recognize women for their achievements without national, cultural, or political bias. But you must admit that 46 years on, we are still faced with crushing issues like economic well-being and gender pay gap, health and reproductive care issues, sexual assault and other forms of gender-based violence, to name just a few. Some may argue that international observances such as these have a tendency to become mere window dressing instead of actually achieving anything substantial. But we do see a lot of movement on one front: campaign advertising. Brands and corporates try to seize the day by creating campaigns that they hope will go viral and become a thing. Nike created a campaign showcasing the true spirit of women in Indian sports way back in 2016. This went viral, and the song lives rent-free in all our minds, doesn't it? It is catchy, fierce, feisty, and well-made. Even if you don't have anything much to cheer about on International Women's Day, we can watch and cheer on the ad campaigns now, can't we? Let's look at this year's most promising contenders and why they may have become a thing in this otherwise overcrowded space. Consumer electronics and durables giant Chroma launched Tech the First Step, highlighting the importance of women to become more tech-savvy. It played nicely into the theme of the year as well, which is digital, using innovation and technology for gender equality. In the ad campaign, which I admit I could identify with, we see a woman excited about her new phone purchase, but wondering how to make the data transfer. A man sitting next to her offers to do it for her. We see a flashback of men offering to help her out with technology at various points in her life. Cut to now, when she's saying she's got this and can do it herself. Pretty strong stuff, right? I thought it tackled an issue a lot of women have trouble with without being pedantic, and probably why this one stayed in my mind. Next up, a Malayalam ad campaign by real estate developers Elite Group I thought was rather interesting. Their campaign, called Nameplates of Change, shows a young girl telling her father she dreams of owning a house when she grows up, but wonders how to do so when houses can only be owned by men. She points to the nameplates outside her building which shows only names of men. As a way to celebrate Women's Day, the men of the society get together and change the nameplates to reflect names of women, symbolically showing that every woman deserves recognition in her own home. Call me a softie, but I liked it. These campaigns managed to shine through the clutter and become a thing. Which ones did you enjoy watching this year? And which ones were pure cringeworthy? Talk to us about it in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please show your love by liking and subscribing to the podcast. You could also spread the good word and share it with a friend. I'm your host Rati Girish, and I will be back very soon with another exciting episode of the TIC original podcast, How Did This Become a Thing?